Gravity, a force of attraction. Gravity is a pulling force. It pulls things down towards the earth. Things fall because of gravity. Things always fall down. What is gravity? Gravity is the force of attraction between two objects. All objects with mass have gravity. Gravity acts like a magnet, pulling objects together. The Earth has gravity. Earth's gravity pulls everything to the Earth's core. Trees, water, animals, buildings, and the air we breathe are all held here by gravity. What does gravity do? All objects with mass exert a pulling force on each other. All of the planets, the stars, and the moon of the universe have gravity. Even our own bodies have gravity. Gravitational forces we notice. The sun is the most massive object in our solar system and exerts a huge gravitational force. This is why all the planets stay in orbit around the sun. The Earth is so massive that the gravitational force keeps us from falling off the planet. Compared with all objects around you, Earth has a huge mass. Therefore, the Earth's gravitational force is very large. Gravity is affected by the distance and the mass of objects. The Earth and the Moon have a stronger pull on each other than the Earth and Jupiter because the Earth and the Moon are closer to one another. So, we've got the greater the distance. Let me erase that. Not G. So if we increase the distance between two things, what's going to happen to the pull of gravity on each other? Will it increase or decrease? So if we increase the distance, things get further away. Gravitational pull will go down. It will be less. They don't really affect each other so much when they're far away. If we decrease the distance and things are closer together, what do you think is going to happen to the gravitational force? It will go up. So closer they are together, the more gravitational pull they have on one another. Gravitational force. And that stays. All right. So that's illustrated by this slide here, which shows us that objects that are close together have a stronger gravitational force than objects that are far apart. Gravitational force also depends on mass. So these two sets of objects are the same distance, but these two are much smaller. So they're going to have a much lower amount of gravitational force between them. The larger the object, the greater the gravitational force. So increase in mass equals an increase in gravitational force. It's a little bit on size of gravity. We're going to skip that. Mass and weight. Mass is the stuff that matter is made up of. We measure mass in grams. People often confuse mass with weight. Weight is actually the result of gravity pulling on an object, and we measure that in newtons. The closer to the center of the Earth, the more pull, the more you weigh. So weight is the mass of an object in grams times the force of gravity. So if gravity is stronger, you're going to weigh more. If gravity is less, you will weigh less. Your mass doesn't change. So your mass would stay the same if you travel from planet to planet. Your weight would vary depending on how the gravity of the planet pulls on you. So the larger the planet equals the larger the pull. So if you're 100 on Earth, you would be heavier on planets that have a greater mass because they'd be giving a greater pull. You would weigh less on planets that have a mass less than Earth because there'd be less pull. It wouldn't be pulling you down. So it's pretty incredible here. 100 on Earth is, what is that? 2,707 pounds on the sun. Very strong. If you're on the moon, however, it's much, 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 much smaller than the sun. So even though you are still 100 pounds, there's not much gravity there. There's not much gravitational force because it has a small mass. So you'd only weigh 16 pounds. Earth has a stronger pull on the moon because it is larger. So when we're comparing these two, Earth is going to be pulling the moon towards it, not the other way around. There's more pull on our bodies here on the Earth than astronauts experience on the moon. Weight on the moon is 1/6 the weight on the Earth. So here's somebody. Their weight on Earth is 1,588 newtons. But on the moon, because there's less pull, it is going to be considerably less, 271. But you can see that their mass is exactly the same on both. The difference is the gravitational pull. What if gravity disappeared? Gravity is the force of attraction between objects that is due to their masses. Gravity can change the motion of an object by changing its speed, direction, or both. All matter has mass, and gravity is the result of mass. Therefore, all matter is affected by gravity, and all objects experience an attraction toward all other objects. The mass of most objects is too small to cause a force large enough to move the objects toward each other.